FIFA is crashing out after leaving the Algorand blockchain. We are going to look at the reaction to how it's gone on Avalanche since leaving Algorand. Plus, Algorand Casino got hacked. A huge EU governing body lays out the case for Algorand and other blockchains. This is really huge news we already covered on our stream, but we're going to talk about it a little more today. The latest metrics from Nansen around Algorand looking pretty darn good. We're going to dive into that. And an Italian water utility is using Algorand. So we're going to dive into all that news today. By the way, if you like this stuff, please hit that like and subscribe button. Now remember, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently and it works just fine that way too. As always, we are brought to you by non-fungible domains. That's right. If you want that .algo address that makes doing everything in Algorand so much easier, just check out non-fungible domains. They got vaults, segments, and you know what? Just having that .algo address versus all those complicated letters and numbers just makes doing everything so much easier. So big shout out to non-fungible domains. Check them out in the description below. And we're brought to you by Marcus Aurelius. They are spreading the word about stoicism through meme coins and NFTs. I love this project, this Marcus project, and they're always building stuff, doing new cool stuff, and spreading the word about stoicism, which is really important to my life. So go give them a big shout out. That's Marcus Aurelius, and both of those can be found in the description below. But why don't we just get to today's news, because a lot of really interesting stuff, and I'm doing things a little differently. So some of you saw this Wednesday night, the rest will see it Thursday morning. Just the way things worked out that way. So let's start with Algorand Casino getting hacked. This is a bummer, and we're going to dive in and how this affects you. So this is a security note from Algorand Casino. We regret to inform our community that Algorand Casino experienced a security breach resulting in the loss of some funds this week. Customer deposits remain secure and unaffected. That's an important point. However, due to this incident, there will be no profit to share this week. By the way, this is May 31st, so this was Saturday. We are actively investigating the situation and working to strengthen our securities for obvious reasons. We will not share the details of the incident. Yeah, and it kind of makes sense because, I mean, if they share what happened before they get it shored up, then they're going to be basically showing the open door to other people. You don't want to go, yeah, they came in right through this window, and you can just go right to that window. Now, obviously, that's a metaphor, but anyway, you may experience some minor inconveniences as we work our way back into normal operations. Thank you for understanding and continue trust. Well, yeah, some will hear us. Nobody looks too upset except what kind of security incident. Well, they're probably not going to say that for a good reason. The classic security incident announcement. Time to grab some popcorn and watch crypto Twitter play detective. I'll see about that. I wanted to see, like, now we covered this a little bit on stream on Monday, but let's just see if there was any. Oh, did they just wipe out their? Wow. Wait, how is that? I'm very confused. Do they not want me to? That's really interesting. I can't see any of their tweets. I can save that one that I bookmarked. Yeah, that's really weird. I've never seen that happen before. Well, last I saw, they hadn't had an update as of yesterday, and I don't know what's going on here. And we're going to touch on this really briefly. This is a huge EU governing body lays out the case for Algorand and other blockchains. So this is I think we just got to look at this really quick so it makes sense. All right, so this is right from King Solomon, and we talked about this yesterday. The EU standards body behind 5G. This is what did he call it? ETSI, yeah, ETISI. So this is the standard EU standards body behind 5G, digital ID, and cybersecurity. 900 plus organizations released the vision for AI and DLT infrastructure. Now this named HBAR, XRP, Ethereum, Algo, AVEX, DOT, XTZ, Bitcoin, Solana, and XLM. So all these chains were not only just named in passing, but they sent in like real. Am I not following King Solomon? That's crazy. I thought for sure I was following him. Anyway, so not only did they name them, but they actually give like really specific use cases, including around Algorand, where they say this is how it can be used. This is what's great. Let's see what it says down here. Also in the video, new study from Ripple and academics. Let me make this bigger. You guys be able to see this. New study from Ripple and academics tied to Hedera shows XRP-LAMM DEX outperforming Ethereum DEXs. Well, duh. Just about anything is going to outperform an Ethereum DEX because it's so damn slow and expensive. Some researchers just dropped a shared MPC wallet paper spanning Hedera, Ripple, and Ethereum with ties to the DREC. DREC is like the DREC Alliance, which Algorand is also in. Someone said, King, your impact on portfolios would be legendary, not financial advice. Very smart. Just sticking to the facts, and I think the video is worth watching. We react to it a little bit in the live stream that we did on Monday night, so you can go check that out. But I think this line is really important. Adoption is no longer theory, it's becoming policy. So like they lay out like real adoption cases in this group. And this is this is the standards body in the EU. You know how they are, right? Like EU is very the European Union is very I don't want to say anti-tech, but they're very regulation heavy and very distrusting of technology. So it's pretty cool to see them talking positively about these utility coins that we talk about on here, like HBAR and Algo especially. Now, I did want to give some little good news for Algorand coming from Nansen, an analytics firm that focuses on blockchain stuff. Some really good numbers for Algorand recently. Algorand just clocked 1 million daily transactions and 108,000 active addresses plus, up nearly 30% in a day. That's nice to see. Low fees, growing usage, and one wallet, TravelX driving serious volume. Yeah, TravelX, we covered this, and actually I'll probably look at this in a second. The chain may not always trend, but the numbers don't lie. Yeah, that's the thing. Like the numbers are going pretty well. Now, if you see the transactions actually going down a little over time, let's pull that up. And yeah, we're gonna have to, like, daily deployments have actually dropped quite a bit. Active addresses, slightly trending upwards. Fees have actually been kind of falling, while transactions pretty steady. I'm a little concerned about them fees though. It's a little concerning. And then TravelX, yeah, you can see the TravelX wallet and is making up the most of the transactions, followed by HasabPay, Fry Foundation, and Binance. And USDC is a big chunk, second place actually. So TravelX being used more than just about any, but you don't know how much is on here, but this is actually looking at wallets themselves. I think that's really helpful. I'm gonna show you something else here too for a second. I mean, you can see it right here. TravelX just doing so much more than any other chain. In this case, on DApp activity, it's at 62.7, and I've seen weeks where it's even more. This is really recent. Can I change this? Well, this is the last 100 blocks. If I go to 1,000, World Chess is actually minting a lot recently. This is still like a really short time frame, but it's like a nice little snapshot. You can see Lofty is doing a pretty decent. World Chess was doing a lot. The blockchain itself, sure. Lofty and Folks Feed are a lot of that. It's hard to tell because they use two different guys. Can't you get like different colors? Like you have like 3 different whites on here. It's really hard to tell them apart. I think you can kind of get the idea here. Yeah, actually, no, you can't. I think Lofty is like this one, but you get the idea. A lot of stuff being done here. I wish I could back out, just see like a day. Like that would be nice versus like, a few blocks. This is still like, what, like an hour's, not even an hour worth of time, about 35 minutes. But you can see a lot of activity going on TravelX. Anyway, that's all I wanted to share with that. This Italian water utility is now minting everything on blockchains, adding to the growing list of things that are some more real-world adoption of stuff that you otherwise probably wouldn't have heard of. Let's see what this news is. Right from the Algorand Foundation, major milestone for real-world adoption in Italy with WTR token. The WTR token, water, I guess, built on Algorand, has just been adopted by the Grupo Cap. Let's look at it really quick. Grupo Cap. I don't know what that is. Oh, they don't. Maybe something's wrong with my Twitter. Anyway, the water token built on Algorand has just been adopted by Grupo Cap, the public water utility company serving over 2.5 million residents across 133 municipalities in Italy. That seems like a lot. This is the first formal adoption of water by a government-owned utility in Italy, integrating blockchain directly into the public water infrastructure management. What does it actually do? I have no idea. Seems like a good thing. I didn't even know this water token existed, but apparently it does, and it's built on Algorand, and we can actually look at this. The ReFi token, powering large-scale water reuse and worth voluntary water credits in the real economy. Well, that's pretty cool, I think, right? I mean, it's one of those things. I like to say Algorand does a lot of the stuff that's like the boring but important stuff, and this definitely falls into that category. All right, last but not least, and I know I'm being a little hyperbolic, but FIFA users are crashing out over how FIFA has gone now that it's on the Avalanche blockchain and not Algorand. And I gotta say, like, guys, we told you. We told you so, FAFO. I won't spell that out because this is a family channel, but yeah, actually, instead of FIFA, it should be FAFO. FAFO, is that how you pronounce it? Anyway, things were working well with Algorand. Why would you turn around and go to another chain not knowing how it's going to work? Like, I don't get it. I know they chase users, but I don't know if Avalanche really has that many more users. Anyway, let's see how it's going. Here's some user comments. Yes, it was taking 5 minutes to use my fund in the wallet to buy a panini pack, while credit card takes no time. Is there anything that the tech team can do to improve the speed of the wallet? And the answer from a FIFA Collect team member was no, unfortunately they can't. Yeah, would it take 5 seconds, not even 5 seconds on Algorand. Someone down here, oh, you can't see it. I'm gonna say, why did we leave Algo again? Yeah, true. True, based. Be slow deck, says Munko. I like it. Here's another one. Marketplace purchase process is way too slow. Everything purchased using USDC is way too slow. Basically, the marketplace and the primary market using USDC are not usable. Well, it was usable before. There have been a couple never-ending processes on the purchase I made. That's not good. Funds are deducted from my blockchain wallet, but no packs are given. I emailed the FIFA Collect support site. They still don't know. You know, the problem is when you make a purchase, you don't know whether your transaction can go through. This is very frustrating, very unreliable. You know, it's almost like we told them that this would be a bad idea if they went to a different blockchain. Now, if they did Hedera, this probably wouldn't have happened. But you already were built on a blockchain that was working. Why would you go to one that's not working? It doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And I think, you know, classic FAFO, you know, F around, find out. They're finding out. Yeah. So I don't know. Did these companies just, I'm just trying to wrap my brain around how they make this decision. It had to be chasing users. Let me look at something. Algorand reporting gaining 1 million new accounts in Q1 of 2024, bringing the total to 35 million. An average of 800,000 monthly active users. Some sources suggest that data for Avalanche's active addresses and MAU is not yet available or is still being tracked and made public. So we don't even know. Like, listen, I don't know anything about Avalanche. I just know it's obviously not working very well. Now they claim they clocked it at 6,500. Okay, well, if we're going that fast, then it would have worked on FIFA. We know Algorand's been clocked at 15,000 TPS. That's really old. It's really hard to find good data, but yeah, bottom line is I think FIFA walked into this and they did it to themselves, and now people are going to hate NFTs because, listen, if you buy it with a credit card and it works, and then you try to buy it with blockchain and it doesn't work, what is the average person or someone fairly new to crypto, what are they going to think? They're going to think, well, crypto's dumb. It doesn't even work, right? So this is really important. It goes beyond just this one use case. Now, I'll be honest, I was never a big fan of FIFA. I was surprised because they lasted a lot longer than I thought. I thought they were gonna, the way they set it up, I didn't really like it in the beginning. I didn't like that the cards don't go to the NFTs don't go to your wallet. Maybe we should have considered that a bad sign. I never liked that from the beginning. But then they stuck around and they seemed like they were gonna market it a little more, and they were gonna talk about building their own coin, which I thought they would just do on Algorand. Nope, went to Avalanche, and they're finding out. But by the way, there's lots of those. I've seen a lot of screenshots of those complaints, so it's not unusual. They're all over the place. Yeah, I really don't get it. I don't get why people, the whole reason I make videos about Algorand more than anything else is because I've had the best experience with Algorand. I've tried a bunch of other chains. Every time I do, I'm disappointed because stuff like the things that people were describing now with Avalanche, like that's been my experience. I don't know if I'd even make crypto videos if it weren't for Algorand. Maybe it would be like, they'd all be about price or something. I don't know. Algorand seems to actually work and no one seems to care. So hopefully eventually people will care. Yeah, that's my doomy video for today. But anyway, like I said, there's good news too. Active users are going up, and what else did I talk about? The EU laying out that case for Algorand and other blockchains. I think that's really, really good. The Italian water utility, serious businesses, serious companies will look at Algorand and want to use it. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well out there. Stay safe. I'm FrugalBC, and I will see you in the future.